Your first job was you were a dog walker.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, like, do you have any lessons or anything you learned by being a dog walker? I think first jobs are so interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was always a super disciplined child, like meaning to I would put myself to bed at 7 p.m., be like, my mom would be like playing with me and my little sister and be like, Mom, it's 7. I got to go to sleep. Like, it's time for my bedtime. She'd be like, are you okay? And so I was always that kid. And so I think I just was always really eager to like work. I don't know why. I just like wanted to always have something to do, something that I felt passionate about that I really enjoyed. And so, yeah, when I was young, I put some flyers around our community and said I would walk dogs. And I ended up getting people that would let me have their dog for a few hours and take it for a walk. So I loved animals and I liked having something to do. So I was a kid that liked to be by myself with animals. So like, I think that was a cool, very fitting thing for me because I got to be by myself walking, but then also experience all these little dogs with me.
I always love knowing about people's first jobs and how things started for them because of, obviously where you are today. But what do you think it was in those early years where you just said you were very disciplined? Like, it sounds like you were aware of certain habits that you built then. Mm-hmm. What were some of the things that you feel confident about, or how did you look for validation in those early years, and where did it come from for you?
I mean, it's interesting. So Kylie, my little sister, she was always the social butterfly. I just liked being to myself. I don't know if that's the Scorpio in me, so it just came naturally or whatever. I had a group of friends who I loved, but I like can vividly remember just on the weekends not running to go be with my friends all the time. During the summer, I was with them, but on the weekends, in between school, I was really just by myself. I would love to like hang out in my room. I like was kind of a nerd. I loved video games and like sitting on the computer and playing Sims all day. Like I just kind of liked being to myself. And then all day long during the summer was with my horses. And yeah, I don't know. It just brought me joy. I don't think I have like a super long explanation for that. It was so simple for me as a kid. Like it was just as simple as that made me happy. And that's just what I wanted. And it explains, I guess, a lot of me now. I went through like a phase where I felt like I had to be around people. I think I live a very social life and my job is very social. So I was, kind of conditioned to want to be around people a lot. And then as, the pandemic came around, you're not around as many people anymore. And now I'm just re-enjoying being by myself, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And I had the best day on Sunday all by myself. I got up, I went and rode my horses. I took my niece to ride her pony. Just me and her. It was so nice. Brought her back home, went to my house, got in my cold plunge, went in my pool, laid out, journaled. Like I was having the best day and I was just pretty much all by myself. So I enjoy it so much. I crave simple things. Like I love my life and I love my job. And I feel so fortunate that I have been placed here, that for some reason I was given this life. Like I feel immensely grateful for that. And I have had so much fun. And I think back on just the experiences that I've had this far. And it's shocking to me. I'm like, this is so freaking cool that I live this life. But at the end of the day, like when I am home and when I'm alone, like I crave the simple things. I love a simple day. I love just like a simple routine and being to myself and being around the people that I love, my small core crew. So
yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what we're all striving for, is that passion in our careers and our work, and then the simplicity at home. What would you say? I was thinking about this, and I've watched so many of your interviews and read so much too, but what would you say for you has been one of your like proudest moments or greatest achievements, or something that you really feel like, and internally, I mean, like for the basis of our conversation, like something that really brings you joy internally when you think about it or when you had it?
Like I said, I look back and the things that I've accomplished, just even my job, like I think I really at one point when I was younger, decided I want to be a model and this is what I want to do. And the fact that I executed, because we talk about that determination, like I was 14 years old when I kind of made that decision and was like, this is what I want to do. And I went to my mom and I was like, please help me do this. And I didn't stop until I was 24, that I was like, okay, I think I need to like take it back a notch, which we could also get into because that's a very kind of dramatic story. But like I just knew, and I think I'm proud of myself for being that kid and being determined to do that, and then executing and doing it to the level that I had done it, and that I guess I still do. But I also am proud of, I think more so, the self-work that I've done within that process. Because there was a long period of time, I'd say the core 5 years of it, that I was extremely overworked, not my happiest, not because I wasn't doing what I loved, but just because I was overwhelmed. And I felt like I was saying yes to everything because I felt really, really grateful and really honored to be in the position that I was in. So I was always saying yes. And it just took a lot out of me to the point where I just wasn't happy anymore. And so I had to set those boundaries for myself when I was about 23, 24. I'd say a year before the pandemic. So yeah, I was probably 23. I really set boundaries for myself, and I was like, I want to continue to do this because this is what I love, but I need to start saying no when I can, and prioritizing me, and prioritizing my happiness and my well-being. Yeah. And it has done wonders for me. I feel like I can show up better for myself, and I can show up a better person for the people that get to be around me that day, and, that I work with on that day. So yeah. So that's what I'm proud of. Yeah, sorry to give you a long answer. That's a great answer.
That's an amazing. I won't say I was hoping for that, because I'm always open to wherever anyone's life experience goes. But there's a part of me that loves the right choices at the right time.
Healthy balance.
The healthy balance.
It's so important. It's important for all of us. Yeah. We have to, this is what we're prioritizing,
Yeah.
So
how did you find the courage to do that at the 23 mark? As you're saying, you're in a competitive industry. As you said, it was overworking. It's fast paced. I'm guessing there's comparison in that industry. There's competition in that industry.
Of course.
It's not an easy space to be. You're in the top 0.01% in your industry.
Right.
So it's hard. And the reason I ask this is because I work with so many people in this space, and to have the courage to say, no, I know that if I sort this out, then all of this is going to be just fine. That actually takes more courage than we recognize. We realize that when you have nothing, then there's nothing to lose. You can actually have a lot of courage.
Right.
But when you have everything and there's everything to lose, and a lot of the time, at least what I've heard in town is, older managers and agents, and I'm not saying you have any of this, but people that I know will be told, well, hey, if you don't do this, you'll be forgotten next year, or, your career's only going to last another 6 months. How did you have that courage to say, no, I need to do this? Where did that come from? And
I think that it's I've never thought about it that way, to be completely honest with you. I just knew that if I had gone any further, that I was going to lose myself. I was at I was on the teeter-totter edge of that point where, had I gone any further, I was probably not going to be great. It was so important to me to feel good that I just knew that it was something that I had to do. And I can't say, you're absolutely right. There were so many people around me that had told me not to say no, and told me not to say no, told me not to stop. I fought my way out of it a little bit, because there were people that had worked for me that, didn't want me to stop because it might have benefited them.
Of course.
But I got to that point, and I just knew I had to do it. And I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, I guess.
Yeah.
It was just such an unbelievable sensation that I had, where I knew that if I do this, I'm going to be better for everyone, and I'm going to be better for myself, which means I'm going to be better for the people around me, and I have to do this. And so it wasn't really, I want to be able to live with happiness. God forbid any of this ever went away. And I think that was a big moment for me, of being like, I'm going to be okay if I don't get this job tomorrow. And I'm going to be okay if I don't get that job in a month. If I have to take this time to do whatever, things will come. Everything's going to work out the way it's supposed to. And I had to trust that. So.
Yeah. Well, to me, from the outside, and it's beautiful that you didn't see it in yourself, because that almost makes it even more wonderful. But the idea that, to me, from the outside, that's a lot of courage.
Yeah. Thank you.
It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of vulnerability and openness, and it takes courage at every level, whether someone's thinking about quitting their job to do something they love, or whether someone's trying to relocate their family and doesn't know how, or whether someone like you is feeling success but then going, well, wait a minute. And I think in the past few years, we've seen athletes and musicians and actors and people in all creative industries step back and say, well, I need to put me first.
Yeah.
And I think that that's empowering because I think we hear about burnout in work culture and corporate culture so often.
For sure.
So what was it that you started to do with that newfound time at that time? Like, was the curiosity always there and now you could actually follow it?
It was. Yeah. It was always there. And I had a lot of people coming to me telling me about meditation and how it changed their life and therapy and so many different things. And I was a bit overwhelmed because I was like, oh my God, what if this is going to suit me? I think it's a very personal experience. I think everybody has a very different version of all of that stuff. And so it was a little overwhelming. So I think I really just took the time to be off for a second. It was even the little things. It was like being able to go to my friend's birthday party, which I wouldn't have been able to go to before because I was working a lot.
I love hearing that because I think it is those simple things like, you know, giving yourself that space, whatever it is that you needed to do.
Yeah.
When you needed it. And like you said, sometimes it's like, that's when all the subscribe buttons come up in front of you and it's like, try this and try this. And it's like, well, no, let me just take my time. And
it was also, now that I think about it, 23, I'm 26. I've had my horse so around that time is when I bought the horse that I have now, who is my, like, I jump her and I have 2 other horses, but they're like retired. So I don't really ride them the same way I ride her. So yeah, I guess it was around that time too that I was like, I'm going to do this because I love this. And like, I want to get back into it. And this is what I've loved my whole life. So it was around that time that I feel like all of that started happening and I bought my horse and I like started taking more time for things that made me really happy.
Yeah. What I'm noticing in you and observing, or at least from just these.
God.
No, in a good way. In a good way. It's all good. I was just saying, it's like, it feels like no matter what's happening in your orbit, there's this pillar of belief that it's important to be happy.
Yeah.
Like, that's like this core center belief in your life where it's like, it's important to be happy. It's important to be happy. That has to be the goal.
For sure. And, it's not always easy. We live in such an interesting industry and in such an interesting time with social media that it can be very hard sometimes. You can fall victim to so many things that don't serve you and that don't make you happy. If your happiness depends on the actions of others, you're at mercy of things that you can't control. Mm-hmm. And that's never where I want to be. So I always want to live in, like, me and my therapist talk about, like, my higher goddess, my higher self. Like, I always want to live there knowing that, when I'm there, you can't take that away from me. That's mine. And no matter what, you can disagree with me, you can agree with me. That's not going, I'm not changing. I'm not shifting. I'm here. I'm in my higher goddess. Yeah. So I always live by, like, keep holding my happiness and not letting anyone else affect it. And though I fall victim to it at times,
of course,
as we all probably do.
Absolutely.
I strive every day to live in that place. So
what are some of the qualities of your higher goddess? So that kind of avatar, like,
she's awesome. Like I said, I don't love a pity party. I also, like, sometimes it feels weird to, like, say good things about yourself, but I've also learned a lot about talking to myself and a lot about looking in the mirror and being like, you're great, you're gorgeous, you're amazing, you're loyal, you're positive, you're so many, like, I love words of affirmation. I love just sitting there and reassuring myself of who I am, because that's another thing for me. There's so many false narratives about me, about all of us, I'm sure. Like, so many people think they have you figured out when they don't even know the half of it. So sitting there and being like, you get frustrated sometimes. It could feel really unfair. You could be reading something that someone is saying about you or hearing something that someone's saying about you and being like, that is so unfair because that's not who I am. Mm. And that really gets to me sometimes, and that really sucks. But then looking at myself in the mirror and being like, but I know who I am. Mm-hmm. And that's all. Why does anything else matter? And my friends know who I am. And my family knows who I am. My dog knows who I am. My horse knows who I am. Like, why does everything else is just noise?